Are you looking for potentially the all-rounder bike that isn't going to break the bank? Well, let's check this out. So we're at Honda Bransons in Yeovil, checking out the Honda NC750X. Now this is the DCT version. For 2025, we've got an upgraded headlight, a new 5-inch TFT, and let's see if this thing's any good. Honda say they've improved the kind of slow speed manoeuvrability for this year. And I can tell you what, pulling away there, it wasn't jerky, it was nice and smooth. We will do another kind of slow speed test later on. It is boiling today. Hey. We've got about 5 different rider modes in this. We've got standard, sport, rain, and then user 1 and user 2. At the minute I've just got it in standard for what's going around town. Got to remind myself DCT so I don't keep flinching for the clutch. Now for me, what kind of encompasses an all-rounder bike? It wants to be easy to ride around town, something I can use all throughout the year, not just in the nicer months. Enough power to keep me interested on a Sunday ride when I want to go for a blast, and I'd probably say enough features as well. Well, let's look at the heart of this bike then. Starting off at the engine, we have got 745cc with 69 newton meters in torque and 58 brake horsepower. Now when you look at just numbers on a sheet, they aren't big numbers. 58 brake. When you look at a Ducati Multistrada V4 and it's got 170 brake, but at the end of the day, numbers don't really mean anything. It's down to you, how you ride, how much enjoyment you get from the bike, and kind of what your intentions are for the bike. Like, is it something where you're just going to be riding on a Sunday and you want the maximum fun? Then this probably isn't going to be for you. But if you want something that you can go touring on, whilst be comfortable and have a blast on a Sunday, then this is where we're going to check this bike out. Gear changes are okay. Sometimes you can definitely hear the clunk of the gear change. I'm riding smoothly. Second, third, fourth is fine. It was just more the down changes, I think. Just caught my foot there on the corner, so I've got to remember the ground clearance and not to duck foot. Let's change the mode quickly, put it in sport. When you get on it and you give it some very big balls, it'll drop a gear for you, give you a little bit more va-va-voom. And obviously with this being the DCT, if you do want to do it manually, you've got your thumb and finger up and down gear changes option. So if you know you're going to start getting in it, you can just drop it down a gear and give it some. The throttle is quite nice in sport. It's not snatchy, but it's responsive. Like it, as soon as you get on it, she starts wanting to pull away. Put it into rain. Rain mode is super smooth. Very gentle on the old throttle response. Now this specific demo bike, I believe, has the comfort pack. I think there's like 4 different packs you can get from Honda. It's like urban, comfort, travel, and something else. I'll put them on the screen, and I'll also include what you get for each pack. But I believe for this comfort pack, we've got a taller screen, we've got a comfort seat for the rider and passenger, and then we've got some winglets down the bottom. One thing I don't like with the screen is it's 2-hand adjusted, so both hands have got to come off to adjust it. But the other annoying thing is, obviously I've got my camera here on the left hand side, so the camera is in the way. We've got the custom 1 and custom 2 rider modes, so when you are stationary you can go and adjust the parameters of that. We've got some nice precise handling on this. Ground clearance for me is probably the biggest problem. Like, unless my feet are proper tiptoed on the edge of the peg, then my feet are dragging on the floor, and I don't want to have to always tiptoe. Sometimes I want to have a more of a chilled out kind of riding stance and just have my feet kind of just duck feet. So yeah, if I was to get this bike, for reference, I'm 6'1", I'd have to look at raising up the ground clearance if possible with some extra suspension. I assume that's doable. Looking at the ergonomics then, the triangle from the handlebar hip to the pegs is a very comfortable position. The pegs are kind of in front of my hips but just behind my knees, so I've got a nice comfortable bend. I could do some distance on this bike. Handlebars in a place where I'm not straining to reach it, but it's also not too close to me, which is good because that aids in this little badger between me and the handlebars. And you may be thinking it's a tank, but you'd be massively wrong. This is actually a 23 litre storage compartment. Now the way Honda have laid the engine, it just means they've got this extra space. They moved the tank slightly to a different position from what we're expected, or what we're used to. And that's giving you 23 litres of internal storage. They claim it can fit a full-size helmet in there. I won't be putting mine in because I've got all my accessories attached to it, but it is nice. It does mean I've got all my heavy camera gear in there. So with the new 5-inch TFT via the Honda app, you do have turn-by-turn navigation, so you've got something, which is nice to see. We've got a large sun hood. And there's still enough space on the handlebars if you do want to put your phone for like your Apple CarPlay or anything. Suspension is quite lofty. It's quite bouncy. But again, a man of my size, I'd have to get this dialed in. The brakes are actually pretty good. To be honest, no complaints on that side. Right. You get on it and she'll get you stopped. I believe we've got twin or dual 298mm at the front and maybe a 245 at the rear. I've now put the screen in the highest position and it wasn't easy to do. The mechanisms weren't precise, which is a shame from Honda. Kind of expected better. But in its highest position, I mean, the wind is like right at the top of my helmet, maybe even above my helmet. And this design, I think the comfort screen is a little shaped differently. Got the extra kind of winglets on the side of the screen just to push the air just a little bit further. Not that I need it today, absolutely not, but it does come with heated grips. So again, something that's designed for all year round, or those touring days where it might get a little bit chilly. It's nice to see that it comes as standard, or maybe in the pack. I was just having a little fiddle with the settings then. I've set user 1 to kind of be like the most aggressive you can get. And then actually I saw there's different themes you can have as well. It's 3 different themes. So I've just whacked on a different one. You can actually take it out of drive and put it into manual mode if you want to have maximum fun. That's what I've done now. Manual, using the old fingers to change the gears. The only problem I find is with the index finger, there's a cable coming out of the back of the switch gear and my finger hits that quite a lot, but there's nothing you can do about that. Gear changes are super smooth on manual mode, and then when you're done in the twisties having the fun, push the drive mode back in. That's it, back into full auto. Well, let's pull over and have a quick look around the NC750X for 2025. Now let's test out the slow speed handling on this. I've been going from closed to just open just to get it crawling at 6-7 miles an hour. It's pretty smooth. Let's try a quick U-turn. I mean, you can hold it open at like 5% and it just trickles over, or ticks over nicely. Pick one of those 3. And then once you're stopped, you can either just turn it off and that'll put it into neutral, or you can push the little N button on the right hand side. Now it's in neutral, and we do have a handbrake on the left hand side. You can pull that up, and then on the right hand side of it, the little button will pop out and you can see the red. When you can see the red, that means the handbrake is fully activated, and there we go, it's in neutral. It ain't going nowhere. Finally managed to find somewhere to pull over, get off that kit, because it is hot. I know I've said it, I'm going to say it again. Looking at the NC750 then, this thing, you've got 4 different colour options. So there's the khaki, or sorry, the earth khaki, then there's the black, red and white. I think this red actually looks really nice, like it's like a deep red, that's what I'd say. But I also really like the earth khaki colour when I was looking at the pictures last night. You let me know below what you think of this. Is the NC750 something that floats your boat and you think you're going to be testing out? Because I appreciate for some people, this might not be for them. Now, at the start of the video, I did say about finding an all-rounder bike that doesn't break the bank. So there's 2 options for this. You've got the manual or the DCT. The manual option is going to set you back £7,600, and then the DCT option, which is this one, is going to set you back £8,400. So when we look at today's prices, actually, this isn't too bad. Now remember, 6'1", this thing's got a seat height of 802 mil, which is low. I've got both feet flat on the floor, a really strong bend. Like, it will mean moving it around the car park is super easy because you've got a nice solid stance. But as mentioned whilst riding, the ground clearance on this, there's just, for me personally, not enough. Now the key be slotted into here, and this is going to be for releasing that 23 litre storage or the fuel. So if you go to the right, it releases the cap, and that's where obviously you say 23 litres is pretty good to have on a bike without having any luggage. Push and close, tilt the key to the left, and then the rear seat lifts up, and that is where your fuel, and that is where your fuel goes. Nice and simple. Pull that little lever up, and there we go, job done. And lastly, the weight of this bike. So manual is 216 kilos and DCT 226 kilos. You can't really feel the weight when you're pushing it around the car park. You can't feel it when you're out on the road. I feel like the way Honda have laid the engine down, they've kept that centre of gravity really nice and low, and it just makes this thing handle pretty easy. Well guys, if you want to jump on one of these and test it out for yourself, make sure to head on over to Bransons in Yeovil. Thank you very much for lending me this. And I'm going to go and cool down. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. Nothing else to say, but until the next one, ride safe.